Candidates in the forthcoming elections, the council elections on the 3rd of May, and then proceed to some words from George, our new MP in Bradford, and then we can proceed with the rest of the rest of the events. We of course have the elections on the 3rd of May. The votes more than 2 weeks ago, the historic vote in the parliamentary by-election was for change. But as George himself said at the rally before and at the speeches afterwards, the change on the 29th of March, big as it was just the beginning of the kind of change that we want to see and need to see in Bradford and indeed elsewhere across the country and indeed around the world. And continuing that process is in the hands of all of us, but no more so than the candidates who we've all been honoured to select to represent the Respect Party at the 3rd of May elections. So can I ask, starting off with Faisal, to introduce themselves, our candidates, the wards they're standing in, and briefly why it is that they are standing for them.
Well, first of all, it's a bit loud. First of all, it's actually a privilege to stand as a candidate for the Respect Party. I think I can say it on behalf of all the other candidates, really. My name is Faisal Khan. I'm actually born and bred in Bradford, studied in London, and actually I'll just tell you a bit about how I came about to this situation. Like you know, we've watched things unfold on our TV screens, and when I was a student in '87, you know, I was pulled aside and said, look, there's a motion being pushed forward to support the Intifada. You know, the student union's pushing this forward. We're going to support the Palestinian people. You know, and I had a vague recollection, you know, of what was going on, but actually I went across and I actually saw some of the politics at play. You know, all that was happening was we were trying to give a voice to the people of Palestine, and yet even this was being suppressed. You know, and that's the first time I saw that. You know, and so from there, really, you know, like you, I went to the anti-war demos and I saw basically the wars being unleashed on the innocence of the world. You know, and I saw that. And in that, you know, when I saw that, you know, it broke my heart when I saw someone like the Labour Party supporting these wars. You know, and you know, who was speaking out? The media wasn't speaking out. The Labour Party wasn't doing it. The Lib Dems weren't doing it. Nobody was doing it. But yet there was a single voice, and that was George Galloway. You know, he was speaking out. You know, if I felt despondent, he brought hope, and he brought hope to millions around the world. You know, he did that. You know, so really, in terms of George's victory in Bradford, you know, people say, all the pundits are going, how did he win? What happened? All this landslide. Well, actually, the people of Bradford were actually ready. You won the hearts over, George, of the people of Bradford. You won my heart over many, many years ago when he stood there in the Senate and he told them how it was. He told the truth how it was. He told it exactly how it was. So that was George. Thank you, George, for that.
Thank you.
So, in terms of change, you know, we've been ready for it. We've been waiting for it. Bradford's been waiting for it all this time. We've got the momentum, and we've got now 12 candidates who are going to carry that change forward as well. So, vote Respect, vote for change, vote for the spring, the new Bradford Spring. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum and hello to everybody. Thank you for coming. Obviously, thank you for George for inviting us and standing as a candidate. I know I don't know every single person of you personally, but I do feel like we're all brothers and sisters here. I think there's a united cause that we all feel some kind of link after George's amazing victory in Bradford. And, you know, I'm from Bradford. I was born here. I went to school here. You know, I'm passionate about the city. I love Bradford. You know, sometimes when you go out of Bradford, there's people who ask you where you're from, and some people say, oh, I'm from Leeds, I'm from Yorkshire. You know, you do get that, but I've always been proud to be from Bradford. And I've I've done everything that I can. Since a teenager, I've been active in changing the city. We had the Bradford riots, and that changed Bradford on an international level. People knew about Bradford then, and I got involved in the youth parliament that was set up straight after the riots. As a young person trying to make that difference, trying to channel the frustrations that we have, into something positive. And then what happened? We had 9/11, and everything changed for a lot of people. We had the war in Afghanistan. We had, racism unleashing. And when I was in that youth parliament, we wanted to, support the anti-war demonstrations, show our support, but we couldn't. We weren't allowed to. And, in the council, they used to talk about supporting the young people, listening to their voices. But when it actually came to listening to what we wanted to do, we faced barriers and barriers. And it's those people since then, when I was a teenager, over 10 years ago, and those same names are still around now, still making those barriers and still not allowing us to do what we want to do. But that didn't stop me. I got involved in my student union, got involved in politics. I represented, and I think this is a key point for me, I wanted to represent, young people. I wanted to represent Muslims. I wanted to represent women. And that's why I got involved in my students' union. I got involved on a national level, on the National Union of Students, to speak for us, because if we're not there at that table speaking for us, who else is going to speak for us? Other people will be deciding what our agenda is. They'll be saying, oh, this is what young people want, this is what Muslim women want, but who are they? If we're there, we can say what we want. And so this is really important point for me. And, and after, obviously, this is a bit of a life story now, but I did work for George, so I've got that kind of experience, working in London. And for me, obviously I'm from Bradford, but international issues are close to my heart. Oppression, anywhere, affects me. I worked for Palestine Solidarity Campaign. I was proud to be part of the Viva Palestinian convoy, and we broke the illegal siege of Gaza successfully. And I'm proud to say that the biggest contingent was from Bradford. We had the G team, we had, loads of people who did the fundraising. I'm sure many of you were involved in that. We did a tremendous thing, and we gave people in Gaza hope that, that we care for their issues. And that's something that we still need to continue to do that. And, sorry, am I finished? All right, okay. I need to wrap up, but I just want to say that, for Bradford, it's really, we need to, George has given us so much hope. That, I've been on the doorsteps, people talking about change, and to make that change, we need everybody's support. So please get involved in the campaign. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have so many candidates, all of whom have got a lot to say to us. I do know Ruqayya. She was on the front rank on the Viva Palestina convoy when we were attacked by Mubarak's thugs. She didn't flinch. She faced down violence from these men. I believe if she was in the council chamber, the other side have a lot to worry about. Thank you very much for coming.
Assalamu alaikum. Brothers and sisters, my name is Asif Khan. Some of you might know me already. If you know, please clap. I am candidate for Barker and Bowling Ward. Why I joined Respect and why I'm standing is very simple. For many years, like many, George was my role model. Why he was my role model? Because he is straightforward, he is blunt, he is to the point. And Respect is the only party which talks about oppressed people of Palestine and Kashmir. Both issues are close to my heart, not as even a Muslim, but as a human. Those people living in Kashmir and Palestine have been oppressed with the help of some of the superpowers ruling this world. And as a human, as a Bradfordian, as a Muslim, as a parent, as a father, we need to stop that. And if you want that, you must support George. I can tell those people who've been saying that George is a lone voice. He isn't. This is only beginning. In Urdu they say, "Aage aage dekhiye hota hai kya." And inshallah in future, George and his team will bring more surprises, and inshallah will spread, and this will become an agent of change in UK and beyond. Why I'm standing? Number one, people know that I've been working with many charities in this country and abroad. I've been working with media, and I've been working at grassroots level. But I never came in politics. George is the one who made me come into politics. And I came into politics with lots of my friends to change things not on the national and international stage, but on the local stage, inshallah. And that is going to begin from 3rd of May. I want every one of you to tell your family, friends, everywhere to support every candidate that we have, whichever background and diverse community we come from. That's how we're going to change things, inshallah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Asif. Well, all these candidates and all of you, some lone voice, I think, George, that. Yeah. It's some lone voice.
Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mohammed Shabir. I live in Freisingall and have done so for the last 34 years. The reason why I joined Respect and wanted to be, I put myself forward for being a candidate, was that I saw within the other parties a group think, the same thinking all over, and with no fresh ideas and no new vision. But also another reason why I wanted to become a candidate was that when I was young, at the age of 13, Freisingall Community Centre was a very vibrant and active place. And I actually benefited from that community centre from a youth worker there called Sonimal Chonaro. And that's what led me into youth work and community development. And so it's with that idea in mind that I've got involved in this as a candidate in Heaton. As a community development worker, as a youth worker, I've worked with many individuals, but on this platform, I can do something else. I can work to support communities and across Heaton in a more holistic way. Now, walking the streets in Heaton yesterday, we met a number of people who are fed up with our present councillors for not standing up to the cuts that have been forced upon us across Bradford. Many services have been cut. And our project, for example, has been cut. Manningham baths have been cut. And so as a person who's passionate about community development, I want to be the voice in there to say, hang on a minute, why are these cuts happening? Have we undertaken the proper impact assessments of these services before we cut anything? So the reason I want to be here is to make a difference for not just some of the small issues that are there in the community, but the wider issues that affect everybody as well. So on the 3rd of May, we need everybody to come out. And in fact, before then, we've got 18 days left. We want everybody to pledge their support to all the candidates, to leaflet drop, to canvass, and to be there on the polling day as well on the 3rd of May. So I wish you all well, and let's support the candidates. Thank you.